Hi. Welcome, one and all, to the call. You received the call, Center of Love. Call, COL, right?
Yeah.
So yes, we're gonna get started like we always do with a great song to get us going, and then I'll keep talking. But let's start with the music. All right, well, we are gathered here today to celebrate and honor love. Welcome to all of you online. Welcome to all of you here in the room. Love is also known as God or the universe, Great Spirit, or the Great Googly Moogly. It really doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same thing. And really, we celebrate it no matter what name it goes by. And regardless of what you call it, we celebrate it here. I love this community. I love that it's easygoing and it's diverse. I love that there's different people from all walks of life, and that it's physical, and it's virtual, and it's got animals. And most of all, that it's based in love. Right? It's a universal language. So take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath. And just say the word love. All right, we'll try that again without interrupting. Another deep breath and just say love. Feel the vibration.
Say it like that.
Your conference call? Yeah,
All right, we got extra stuff going on here. We got extra people talking. Well, thanks for doing that. I hope that you felt that. And I want to just draw some attention to this beautiful piece of artwork. It's the painting of the week by our very own Linda Stimrose. Thank you for sharing your gift and sharing this beauty of color, and that I know is made with love. Yeah. So we've done our intro song, so that note doesn't count. And I guess it's time to introduce the speaker today. James Redfern was born in the Philippines, and he came to Canada when he was only 6 years old, against his parents' wishes. So they followed him. And James said, he says, marriage is easy. He enjoyed it so much, he did it 9 times. Not. Just kidding.
It's a lot of love to get.
That's a lot of love. And now he has 3 children that he admits to, and they're all girls except for 2 of them, you know. But really, we're talking attraction here. Today he's talking about the law of attraction. And you know, law of attraction, it's a thing. It's a real thing. If you want to know if law of attraction is working, look around you to the right and the left and see what you've attracted. That's it. Hopefully that's a good thing. He's going to talk about the law of attraction with some amazing examples. So without further ado, bring on the James.
Okay, I've got some examples here, really cool examples of the law of attraction working for me. It works for all of us. Hopefully, most of you have heard of the law of attraction. It's related to the law of intention, very much so. But the law of attraction is a little bit more mystical, magical, mysterious, and sometimes miraculous. It is, I'm sure I'm going to learn something more about the quantum field in the course, you know?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
A little bit.
Because the very last example I give of attracting something in my life may be a quantum event, because it it cannot be explained rationally. It can't be explained by science. And I'll show that to you amid all the examples that I have to give. So I'm going to move fairly quickly here. It's a packed presentation, and I want to keep it under half an hour. I got the look. I got the look.
The mob might come after you if you.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Dr. Wayne Dyer, and many of you have read his books. He's definitely one of my mentors / gurus. He wrote a book called The Power of Intention. Very powerful book for me. Everything we do, everything in the universe is energy, but everything we do has intention behind it. Whether we're flicking on a light switch, going to bed, or sitting on a log watching a sunset, there is intention and purpose behind it. The law of attraction requires intention, but utilizing the process of the law, you can bend the universe just a little bit to attract things to you and bring them to you in a more enhanced way. And sometimes things come to you in an enhanced way that you can't even imagine. In other words, things turn out better than you think because you've been practicing with the law. Everything starts with imagination. Okay, call it what you will. You might call it an idea, imagination, creativity, or conscious intention. But all your thoughts, which is energy generated in your brain, start with intention. The Buddha said, one's thoughts create one's life. And so your thoughts literally generate energy into your body with feelings, and that energy in your body vibrates out into the universe, and the universe is listening to those vibrations. Now, this is pretty woo-woo for some of you, and yet we're practicing it all the time by the way we feel, okay? The energy is sensitive to how we feel. There have been numerous books written on the law of attraction, but I was actually introduced to it prior to these books being written by sages, philosophers, prophets that talk about the law, but they didn't at the time call it the law of attraction. The Secret by Rhonda Burns, which I believe was 1991, the movie came out. This popularized the law of attraction and made it more popular to the general public. Something about the law of attraction is you are attracting things to you by what you think and by what you believe and how you're vibrating, okay? You do not have to be attracting just things, just stuff to you. But because we are a materialistic society, we tend to want to attract things to us. That happens. However, you can also attract health. I'll give you an example of that. And circumstances. You can attract outcome. You can attract relationships. And when I say outcome, it might be something like, I went for a rather serious driving test on Wednesday in Victoria, and I had the intention to do exceptionally well in it. I told myself I was going to do well in it, and I hadn't driven one of those pieces of machine in 8 years, and I nailed it simply because I put the intention out there, and I believe that things are going to work out well. So you can attract outcome as well. So can we play the video?
Yeah.
Hopefully we queued it up to the right spot.
Yeah, we can move it around if.
Okay. If it doesn't work out, we don't have to watch the video.
Okay, let me get out of this big screen here.
So we're going to talk. You're going to see Jim Carrey talk about the law of attraction.
My apologies.
And
Okay.
he's a big proponent of the law of attraction and manifesting. And I believe we've got this queued up? Okay, let's try it.
Drive and
Yeah,
park
every night.
and visualize seeing yourself as
Yeah, I would visualize.
this is when you were broken poor.
Right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, I like your work or whatever that is, and I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85.
Yeah.
And didn't
I
you?
had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things, and they're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there.
Okay, so you would get this from what, self-help books or whatever?
Yeah, self-help section.
Self-help section.
They've renamed it the Jim Carrey wing.
So didn't you write yourself a check? I heard that you did. Is that
I
true?
wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and I put it in my wallet, and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff, but then just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber, maybe.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah. So you visualize yourself like... Visualization works if you work hard.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. You can't just visualize and then, go eat a sandwich.
I love that. That was such a powerful moment for me because I was not a person who did visualization or thought about my belief system in such a practical way. But I learned a lot from Jim Carrey on that show, and he is absolutely correct. If you can see it and believe it, it is a lot easier to achieve it. So thank you, Jim, for reminding us of that lesson. And it doesn't mean that for every person that writes the $10 million check that that's going to happen for you, because so many times people who...
All right, awesome. Okay, good. So that's an extreme example, Jim Carrey and $10 million check. However, you can go on YouTube and type in law of attraction, and many other famous and not so famous people will share with you their experiences of the law of attraction. Something I should point out about the law of attraction is the word coincidental is used a lot. And in our culture, it's interpreted as accidental. No. Coincidental is not accidental. Okay, coincidental means coincidences, coinciding events, intersecting. Okay, sometimes they're accidental. Last Sunday, I was walking on the beach and I saw a soup pack, and I thought, I felt it, and I thought, oh, there's something in there. It's still dry. I bet it's a soup pack. I'll open it up when I get home. 70 grams of marijuana. Okay, I'm gonna worth just under $600. Okay, seriously, at $8 a gram, that's $560. Unfortunately, since I learned that THC raises blood pressure and heart rate immediately because of a high blood pressure, I don't smoke too much anymore. So big party at my place. We're going to have a spaghetti dinner. Okay.
We're regular.
So sometimes I did not attract that because I wasn't thinking, but sometimes, yeah, coincidences and accidents happen. Let's, all right, very quickly now. The process of the law of attraction is, number one, idea thought. Okay, it's generated in the brain. Number two, intention. What is behind that thought? Is there a desire strong enough to create an intention to it? Mind you, there's intention behind everything, even though when you're flicking on a light switch. Number three, you verbalize. Talk to the universe. Okay, talk to you, say it out loud. A fascinating YouTube video is about the word abracadabra. It's an Aramaic word, the language Jesus spoke. Abracadabra means what you speak, you create. I say my affirmations out loud. Number four, write it down. Again, when you're writing it down, you're sending information, energy, vibration out to the universe, and perhaps you're also reminding yourself of your intention of what you want to create. Number 5, visualize. We just saw the power of visualization, okay? And with that visualization comes belief. A couple of old prophets, a guy named Matthew, 21, chapter 21, whatever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. And his good compatriot Mark, chapter 11, verse 2-4, what things ye soever desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. So belief plays a very powerful role in manifesting what you want in your life. Action, here's the big one, okay? Occasionally, the law of attraction will just give you something out of the blue, but number 6, action, is the big one. It's also called attention. That's the energy, the time, the focus, the commitment, and the determination to see through what you visualize, okay? The universe favors the bold and the active. And finally, number 7 is allow. Allow what's coming to you to come to you. Some of the things that came to me, if I didn't act on them and go reach out and grab them, that's not allowing. So you've drawn something to you, something, you have actually attracted something to you, but if you don't reach out to the opportunity that came, you didn't finish the process. Okay, so idea, intention, verbalize, belief, write it down, visualize, take action, which is the big one, and then allow. Okay, so let's take a look at some very quick examples. In 1983, I had a serious eye injury, a 3¼ inch nail punctured my eye, and I was in surgery for 2 hours. Over the next 4 weeks, as the doctor managed to put the eyeball back together again, inflated it with saline solution, and over the next 4 weeks, as I continued to go for examinations, my eyesight came back. Western medical surgeon used the word miracle. He said, it's a miracle. I did not think you would get your eyesight back. And today I can read very fine, small print. Okay, so a miracle, according to a doctor, has happened to me. Why did that happen? My belief that I would never be blind. In psychology, it's called thought suppression. I never would allow myself to believe that I was going to be blind. So there's a health example. Number 2, have you got the picture of the big heart?
First? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me share the screen.
I was in the town of Scintillating and walking on the beach looking for rock hearts. Rock hearts, because I collect little rocks. I have over 100 of them now, shaped like hearts. And I walked right over this 6-foot heart. So large, I did not see it the first time. But on the return trip, I went, oh my gosh. I don't know. Is that accidental? No, I'm looking for rocks. And the universe says, here you go. Okay. Sometimes you attract messages. In 2009 to 2011, I had a little battle with cancer. The surgeons said they got it all out, but the mind plays tricks. And I thought, well, what if they didn't get it all out? What if it metastasizes? What if I've only got 2 years left to live, right? Paranoia kicks in. So I deliberately asked the universe for more time, okay? 2 weeks later in Vancouver, still recovering from my abdominal surgery, I'm walking in the park, big grassy fields, and something glints in the grass. A brand new, I'll pass it around, but I want it back. Omega watch, brand new. I took it to a jeweler. I said, is this real or is this counterfeit? He said, no, it's real. It's only worth about $450. I said, only? Okay. Well, I usually buy Timexes, so that's a nice
Yeah,
thing.
it doesn't.
So I looked up to the universe, to the sky, and I said, thank you. I get the message. 2 months later in a motel, waiting for a flight back to Fort McMurray, I'm doing my yoga on the floor. Another watch. What's the message? Hey, buddy, you've got lots of time. You've got lots of time. Okay. The universe is talking to you. Okay. All right. Very quickly then, the tools.
Yes.
I was in a house. I have to speed it up now. I was in a house in Victoria, had a nice garden. I needed 4 tools, exactly 4 tools. I needed an electric weeder. I needed a shovel that had a square front, not the pointy front. I wanted a steel rake with the steel teeth, and it had to be I wanted a bow rake that had the bows, coming down the side to support the tines. And I wanted something called a mattock. A mattock is a pick, but it has a flat blade to cut a little 3-inch trench. I had one, but I had a big one. I didn't know if they made smaller ones. Apparently they did. I found this on Mills Road in Sydney, all 4 tools, the square shovel, the small mattock, the electric weed eater, and the bow rake. All 4 on Mills Road. And I'm going, that's not accidental, folks. I attracted that, okay? Let's move on to the fun one.
All right.
Okay. One of my fantasies is
Found that?
the keys were in it. The keys were in it, and I don't know why they were running after me, but anyway. Very quickly now. One of my fantasies is I love these cars. They are works of art. They really are. Okay. I watch a video, promotional videos by Bentley just about every day. Okay. Yeah, they're status machines, but they're also beautiful craftsmanship. A lot of the inside is literally done by hand. I am on the beach in Sydney. I'm sitting on a log down about here, about 30 feet away from this. I'm visualizing. This is a boat ramp to the left. I hear this crunch, crunch, crunch of gravel behind me, and it stops. Now, most trucks with their boats and their trailers don't sound like that. So I turned around, and 30 feet from behind me is my dream vehicle. It stops, pointing at me 30 feet from behind. Now, I ask you, when was the last time you've seen a Bentley, let alone one pull up behind you while you're going through your visualizations? Did I attract that? I believe I did. However, the universe is also saying, not yet, James, you haven't gone through the action part yet. You got to do the work if you want one of those.
Right.
Incidentally, I was blown away, and you're going to be blown away. This thing had 30,000 miles on it, came up from the States. He said, it's for sale, $40,000. That's a lot cheaper than a Lexus these days. Okay. Now let's go to the final one. This is the woo-woo moment. Okay. This defies physics. It defies rationality. We can talk about this later about perhaps this is a quantum event. What I'm going to hand out to you is inside this beautiful little egg case. Here's the story behind it. November 4th, 2011. It was about 2 weeks after I decided I wasn't going to return to Gibson's, which was going to put an end to my marriage, my second marriage, and I was feeling fairly depressed. It was 9 a.m. I was taking my dog for her morning walk. November 4th, it was the first snowfall in Fort McMurray, 4 inches of powder snow. We were walking down the road, and then we normally make a right-hand turn into a lane, which is 10 feet wide in Fort Mac, so fire trucks can go down there. Virgin snow, not a footprint in it. I was ruminating about this upcoming divorce, and I remember asking the universe, how should I handle this? I make the right turn. Seconds later, I see a dark spot in this white snow. Okay? Not a footprint in the snow. Pass it around carefully, please.
Yeah.
How did this rock a mile from the river where these rocks appear in the top of the snow. It's sitting on the snow. If it was there before the snowfall, it would have been covered. If someone had thrown the rock in, it would have sunk. But it was sitting on the snow and not a footprint around it. And this is the rock shaped like a heart. What's the message? The law of attraction, the universe is talking to you. And since then, I started collecting heart-shaped rocks. Okay, and I've got over 100 of them now because I'm attracting them. So there you have it, folks. Thank you very much. The law of attraction is working for you all the time. I invite you and encourage you to go online, study the process, because you're practicing it all the time. However, you can enhance the process by practicing it consciously. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
We're partially here. Good. I trust that you gleaned a lot from the discussion. I know we did out here. It was marvelous. You know, this is powerful work that we're doing every week. And it's a great way for us to set the tone for the week as well, right? And this would not be possible without you and you and you and you and you and you and you. All of us. We appreciate your presence and your participation and your contributions, as you can contribute it by being a speaker or by being the host, doing what I'm doing right now, or doing the tech, or any other contribution that you can make. And because we're growing, as we're growing here, we also appreciate your financial contributions as you're able to do that. So keep that in mind as well. There's a basket over at the back of the room.
It's actually getting passed around.
Okay, well, there you go. And any way that you are a part of our center, because it's your center, it's our center, it's my center, it's all of our center. Any way that you participate and contribute is wonderful.